Time to Shine Today, episode 18. Take a worry break. This is Scott Ferguson. Let's level up. Hey, time to shine, squad and Fergie fanatics. It's Scott Ferguson again, and I just am so cold today. It is 40 degrees in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. That is about 62 miles north of Miami, Florida. So this is South Florida, where it doesn't get too cold like this, but it is chilly today. Oh my gosh. It's insane. I moved from Detroit so I can deal with it. I moved about 5 years ago, so I can deal with it, but it's still chilly. It's crazy. I actually layered up to walk my dude Stitch today, my dog, and he didn't seem to bother him. He's like a real short-haired pit bull, but it didn't bother him at all, but I'm freezing. It's crazy. Anyways, thanks for listening. One thing I am very excited about is I have about 9 interviews that are lined up that will be dropping here to you in the next couple weeks. Maybe 3 weeks we'll get all 9 of them out to you. I don't want to bombard you way too much. So you just won't be really getting as many of my knowledge nuggets, but you'll be getting other people's knowledge nuggets that is going to help you level up your life. So super stoked that I get to bring their content to you. And that's going to start dropping the beginning of next week. So that would be, I guess the dates would probably be the beginning of the 27th of January. So like getting these interviews lined up is I'm started to drop this content to you, my squad, my fanatics. I was worried about how I was going to be able to do it, how I was going to be able to approach it. And I had great mentors that were helping me get over the worry, but I still would worry. And I would find myself worrying when I was sitting with Susan, my lady, and I would worry, well, I was supposed to be spending time with her. And not just about this podcast, but I would worry a lot throughout my life when things didn't even happen. And my coach and I had a discussion a while ago about worry. He just threw this quote from Mark Twain in front of me, and I read it, and it goes like this. This is from Mark Twain. I've had a lot of trouble in my life, some of which actually happened. That's short and sweet, and it's true. We worry and we fabricate things that are not even going to really happen in our mind. It's like the word fear, the acronym false evidence appearing real. Worry in some aspects can be very good for you. Like if you're driving and you're worried about other people, how they drive, or if you're worried about yourself, how you drive. But either way, we need to compartmentalize our worry. And that's what I'm going to kind of go over with you today with regards to what I was taught about taking worry breaks. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't ever worry off my worry breaks clock. Okay, but I do worry. But I just have learned to take the time to worry about things and then the rest of the time take an action to progress, move forward, and level up. So again, I'm going to tell you, worry is not a bad thing. Worry is actually a good thing. Please worry about stuff. If you didn't, you're not human, you're not progressing, you're not leveling up. But again, the problem that we see is the people that spend their free time worrying when they should be spending time with their loved ones, they should be spending time in meditation, and when you worry about stuff, you're not present in the situation that you're in. Sometimes, even now, I find myself worrying about stuff when I'm talking to my lady Susan, and she'll ask what's wrong, and I'm like, you know what, I am. I'm not being present with the time with her. So just imagine how much you worry, how much I've worried, and how many years I've wasted about worrying about stuff, and 90% plus hasn't even happened. So that's a little bit of my story of, worrying has really kind of stagnated me from even launching this podcast before. It has stopped me from reaching out to people to get interviewed on Time to Shine Today, which again, I'm super happy and can't wait to be able to get you out their knowledge nuggets to you. An exercise that I can give you is to take worry breaks. I'm going to bring up Robin Sharma again, and from his book, Who Will Cry When You Die? He tells you take time to worry, but just compartmentalize that time. Set aside a time where you can worry about what really needs to be worked on. Set a time aside to write down and journal what's worrying you. Think about it. Get the support that you need, whether, if you're worrying about something, go to our Facebook group, Time to Shine Today, and let us know what you're worrying about, and maybe we can help you out. But don't do it just randomly. Set time aside daily for your worrying. If not, you'll become paralyzed throughout your day, and you're not going to be able to progress and level up. Okay, I'm just telling you, that's just not going to happen for you if all you're doing is worrying. So some of the things that I do when I set aside my time for my worry breaks, I go to a place where it's kind of feels safe for me. Okay, it's with my lady Susan. Like, I'll talk to her about my concerns and my worries. And sometimes just a soothing voice is saying, Scott, it'll be okay. Scott, we got this. Scott, we're a team. And that's great. But when it's done, it's done. I spend the rest of my time with her, and I'm present with her. Also, I love the beach. I moved to South Florida for the beach. And I'll go and just sit on the beach or just walk along the beach and work out my worries there. But again, it's not all the time. And I don't even spend my whole time at the beach worrying. I set a time that time to reflect and see and do my worrying, and then find solutions to progress forward and level up. Another tactic that I've learned and I practice is breathing methods. And Google Wim Hof, Wimhof. He's fantastic with breathing and resetting your system. It's not easy, but when you're breathing with his techniques, you have no other choice but to stay present. And I should take it a step back. If you find yourself worrying outside of your worry break, then use this method. Get present with yourself. Trust me, if you use Wim Hof's breathing, you're going to have no other choice but to stay present and not worry about what you were worrying about, because it's hard. It doesn't tax you. It actually opens up your lymphatic system, makes you more alkaline, and balances out your pH balance in your body. That's just one technique that I use. If I start to worry outside of my worry break, I use that. And again, walks with my dog with no earphones in. All I do is walk my dude, and I stay present with him. There's a little meme or a GIF or something that's online, and it shows a guy on a bench, or a guy standing there with his dog. And above it is the little bubble caption. The dog's thinking about what he's seeing right now. The guy's thinking about everything else. So if you have a dog, learn from your dog, because all he cares about is what's going on right now. That's staying present. He has no worries. Okay? Now, he might worry when he comes home and he's got in the trash can and stuff like that of what I'm going to do to him. I might not give him as much love that day, but I digress, but that's just funny. I'm sure he worries when I see that trash can knocked over. I love my guy, man. He's awesome. So let's recap. Let's worry, and worry's fine, but let's compartmentalize that worry and take worry breaks. And when you go through the worry breaks, look at it. Don't just worry about it and freeze up, but work through solutions. Get your support system in place. Talk to someone you trust. Talk to someone that's always looking for you to level up. All right? So, again, stay tuned, because, like I said before, we're going to have some fantastic interviews coming up that's going to help you level up your life, from coaches to business owners to influencers. And there's some pretty big names coming up, so you're gonna definitely want to tune in. All right, so hopefully you got some good information here about taking worry breaks. Internalize the stuff, compartmentalize it, your worries. And if you have any issues and you're worrying about something just really bugging you, that's a little crazy, reach out to me directly at sf@timetoshinetoday.com. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. And always level up your health, level up your wealth, because it's your time to shine. Fire up. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope you will help support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, level up. It's your time to shine.